shivered the whole night
And you are right now tuning into Elmpoint County Radio. Well, not really Elmpoint County Radio, but this is more of a recap and a look at the future. Because we are ending the first chapter right now. As you may know, we are currently in the last episode. There's some things about explorers beginning to go up north to see if there's any life up there, and some new threats coming our way. So I felt like, you know what? Let's look back real quick. Let's look back at what has happened, because a lot of shit has happened. And I felt like we also needed to talk a little bit about the lore. And yeah. So welcome to episode 9, or Elmpoint County Special. So, my dear friend, let's look a little bit at the past, because a lot of shit has happened. Your character getting fucking amputated, shot in the leg, and been through a lot of shit. You're basically just a punching bag of this entire fucking thing. Yeah. And then there's me, Jack. Well, my real name is not Jack, but I'm not gonna say my real name here. So, but anyways, so yeah, no. He has also been through some stuff, but that is not really important. Not as much as Ross over there, of course. Yeah, one-legged Ross. But so yeah, let's look back. Okay, where did we start? Ross, do you remember? Where did we start this entire thing? Like, where in the point in the world?
On the rooftop.
We started out on a little settlement on some rooftops in some town I actually do not have a name for, but in some ruined town we started in a settlement, and that settlement was in big troubles. There was a faction or bandit clan or gang that was hurting them and bullying them, and it was not very fun. So yeah, and there was some fights. We had like 3 episodes where we like handled with them and where we talked about what was happening, and there was 2 ways this entire thing could go. Either it was going to be like, oh, we were victorious, we beat Foxes, and we prosper as a settlement. But that was not what was going to happen. Quite the opposite, actually. So instead, we just ended up with, hey, let's just do we get fucked over and we go somewhere else. So that was very fun. But, and you got shot in the leg. And also, I want to say credit to our friend for both being Rev in the first episode at the interview and also being the raider that bursted in and shot Ross in the leg. So yeah, no, thank you very much for that, if you're listening to this, of course. So yeah, no. But no, yeah, credits to that guy. And where did we go from there? Do you remember?
SED, I think. If I remember correctly, we were under SED protection.
Not quite. We ended up. Well, we were, but they didn't do anything. They didn't help us at all while we were in the settlement. But after that, after the settlement, we moved on. We moved to a place called Willows Point, which is, let me look up, because another fun thing, if you didn't know, we have an entire map of the entire county that is interactable, that I can move around with and change borders, military, all that stuff. If you want to know the website that you can use this on, it's called Askov Fantasy Map Generator, and it is absolutely wonderful to use this. It is very fun, and you can just create so much shit. So no, yeah, that's what I've been using. And in here, I've been like moving around different stuff to like kind of see, okay, like how is this entire thing gonna go? Of course, this is a podcast. I can't show anything. But no, yeah, believe me, we have like a little map that we move around with and interact with every single time. Right now, it is set on a time for the next episode. I'm gonna spoil a little bit at some point, but right now I feel like we are just talking about what has happened. But no, yeah, we moved to Willows Point, and we set up our own thing there, where we were under the ERR. You guys remember the ERR? You know, the faction that was like, they were weird. They were like, if you know D&D, and you like look at the, if you know, there was like lawful evil, chaotic good, all stuff like that. They were like a weird, like true neutral. They were like right there in the center of the entire thing. They were completely neutral. There was nothing else. And, we were on their, Willows Point was under their control. So we were under their control until at some point, the MCR and the ERR went to war. That was in episode 6, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was in episode 6, because episode 4, yeah. Episode 4 was when I started it up and did a solo episode, and where we started it up again and we came back. And then episode 6 was when the entire thing went to war, and that was a really fun episode. I liked it. I like recording it and editing it. But no, yeah. And that's when we got under the MCR control, or the Merchant Republic. So let me talk a little bit about the Merchant Republic real quick. The Merchant Republic, if I would put them on an alignment, I would kind of put them in the lawful neutral. They're not good, but they're not bad. They're kind of just there trying to just protect themselves. By, because they're merchants. They're basically just a bunch of merchants in the early days of the entire apocalypse of this world. It was like a bunch of different traders and rich guys that came together. Was like, let's profit off this instead. So they created a little guild kind of thing that was like, okay, we're gonna hoard as many items as we can and then sell them out, and that's how they got power. So they are also a little bit, they started out kind of neutral evil, but now they're just lawful neutral instead. If that makes sense. And so now they're basically just this like entity that controls all trade in the entire county and like has something to do with every single little trade deal and something like that. Well, big trade deals and small ones like, can I get this little burger for $5? Or whatever the currency they use, because, once again, this place is in a non-disclosed country. I haven't even written it to be in any country. It is just somewhere on Earth. Because I did not feel like it was important, when everything else around this country was destroyed, except for some things. But we're gonna find it, and we're gonna talk about that at some point. Not right now, of course. So and then we got under the MCR control. And that was much better, as you maybe know. We were Jack and Ross are a lot happier under there, but they were hoping for Musketeers, because right now Musketeers are good, doing a little project. I'll probably say it a little bit, not now, but basically they are like kind of they're basically doing some uniting and stuff. So that's gonna be fun to talk about. But what else? Oh yeah, the message. You remember the fucking Morse code? That was fun to make. And if you wonder who made that little this message is a false message and is a lie, that was me. I just did some pitching and some other stuff. We were intending on getting some friends to do it, but we were like, that would take too long, and they would probably not do it right now and stuff like that. So I was like, fuck it, let's just do it ourselves. So we did it ourselves. Yeah. And so yeah, that was also very fun, because I want to be like, because it was from the SCD. And with the whole SCD is a long creation of mine. I worked on the SCD for a long time. My main inspiration for the SCD is from a game called The Division, where it's like, so The Division is basically a game where it's like, a global pandemic absolutely destroys the United States into civil war, and it's just anarchy. And then we have like this secret branch of the military called Secure Homeland Division. Like, it's activated to try and peace everything and try and help everyone out and bring back the United States. And I was like, you know what? Because I'm also have a like Otherworld, which is like supposed to be like nations, or like make custom nations and history and stuff like that. It's very fun, but they're supposed to be from there. But I don't know if this world takes place in that world, or if it just takes place in a completely different world. But I like to borrow stuff from other projects, just because I have like made one thing and then I like that one thing. So yeah. Anyways, my co-host, do you have anything to talk about with your character? Who is Ross? I was like, when you were like agreed to co-host this with me, I was like, make a character. I don't care what it is, just make a character. So can we hear a little bit about Ross? Who is Ross?
Ross is a very angsty character, because I like angsty characters. Yeah. I like to make my characters like traumatized.
Traumatized?
Whoopsie.
What is Ross's trauma?
Ross's trauma is his mother is sick, his brother doesn't speak to him, and his father is dead. So the whole package, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. But like, can we hear a little bit about Ross's backstory?
Ross grew up wanting to be a soldier like his father, a guard actually, more precisely. When his father then died, he thought that was like the only thing he could do to keep that memory of him. But then he got a job at the radio, of course, and he felt much happier there, and he started to feel less guilty about leaving the guards.
Yeah. Also, you need to speak more.
Yeah, sorry.
I can like hear what's going on, and it's like going up, and then it's going down and up again with the audio. So, yeah, I know.
Sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not cutting anything out here. This is like open mic kind of way. We can call that ECR open mic. That could be kind of fun. But no, yeah. Is there anything else with Ross? Any future plans with Ross? Any future lore? Any story with Ross?
I feel like a big thing is coming towards Ross. and I
nice.
feel like it's quite exciting.
Ooh, that's gonna be very interesting to follow along to.
Yeah. And I spoke about this in episode 7, I think. But he is gonna get a prosthetic leg that he made himself.
He made himself. I thought you were was getting like a doctor to do it.
He's getting a doctor to put it on, of course. But he
he made it himself, so it's like made out of scrap metal.
Yeah, it's made out of scrap, and he's gonna need like a cane and stuff.
That is great.
But it's a lot cheaper than
yeah, of
buying
course,
one.
because it's the apocalypse. Not everybody has such a prosthetic leg lying around.
Exactly.
So yeah, that sounds like interesting.
Yeah.
Jack is I don't know. It was a character I quickly came up with. I do it a lot when I have to make stuff. I was like, Jack. He's a very ecstatic. He's like very, oh my god, hello. He would be like a very perfect Twitch streamer, like, or like a Let's Player, and you'd like, hello everybody, welcome back to a new gameplay video. Today we're playing some game. You'll be very good at that, but no, yeah, he is if you would imagine how he looked like, he would be when you watch like movies that are supposed to take place in the 80s, those jock types that like have those like weird high school jackets on and stuff like that. That I'm kind of thinking that's him. He kind of looks like that, but a lot skinnier and less muscular, but still very cool. And has like very slick hair and very stylized hair. So yeah, and his backstory is basically he grew up in the rooftops as everybody else. He was raised as to be a mechanic, to be like an engineer kind of thing that knows what to do with technology and stuff like that. And his entire thing was, as you may know by now, he was like, he was out scavenging because he went out with scavenging teams to find stuff and found this equipment. It was like supposed to be like his backstory. He doesn't have any real trauma. For what I have thought of yet, maybe that will change. Everything with this character can change for his backstory, as long as I haven't said it yet, of course. But no, yeah, he was a character I quickly came up when I was like, you know what, I really like this type, so I chose that instead, and was like, you know what, let's go with him. Let's do Jack. Let's do Jack. So yeah. Is there? Let me see, because we also have a little paper on what we're gonna cover today. So let me talk a little bit about the show itself, or the world Elmpoint County, because it is kind of funny, because the origin of it was called The Aftermath, and I'm not kid you not, it was an inspiration from a Minecraft server I made with a specific mod that's called Escape and Run Parasites, which is about, you guessed it, parasites that infect mobs or creatures and critters and monsters and stuff like that, and then turn them into these horrific beings. And I was like, dude, this would be so awesome to make like a world out of it, like an apocalypse out of. So I'm like, I kind of took a lot of inspiration from that mod, which, it would infect ground and grass and trees and then grows these things. So a lot of the lore about these parasites come from this mod and these parasites in that mod. But I'm also tried at least to try and go a bit away from that mod. But no, yeah, that is basically my inspiration. So no, yeah, it was a Minecraft server I made. I still haven't finished, and I'm probably not going to finish for a very long time, because, it's motivation. It goes up and down. Suddenly I have motivation to work on it, and suddenly I don't. Right now I do not. But then I decided, you know what? Because I like Dungeons and Dragons. Who doesn't like Dungeons and Dragons? I'm a big nerd. So I was like, can I do a D&D homebrew with this world? And I found out yes. So I'm actually still working on that, and I sometimes decide to sit down and do a little bit of, this class and this, stuff like that. And a lot of the new factions, because the factions have been a lot different than from what it is right now. Let me look real quick. But the factions in this world is, from the original, The Aftermath, is so much different. Well, not so much different, but basically we have the Roadrunner still exists. The ERR is still the same, kind of. in the past the ERR was gonna be like again this really neutral kind of guys, like it's the same as here, but in the in the podcast world, they are more these like they are good, but they do bad things to achieve good things kind of people. They weren't here. They were like just true neutral. They yeah, that was all it was here. And the Merchant Republic hasn't changed at all. But there are two factions that have gone to the trash since we started. There was gonna be the New Red Front, which was gonna be like a socialist kind of faction that are gonna be like, oh, we're trying to make a communist society in this new world. And I was like, no, they're too cliche. They're too on the nose. I don't want them. So I instead made I think I talked about them very early on, but I deleted them very quickly where they like dispersed. And right now they are called the Tripod Pact. What it is now, which is like these free settlements, which is let me look on the map. Skip, Lay, and Pressham and Sanctuary that like came together and made like this like alliance with each other to make this faction. So they're under Merchant Republic kind of control, but then again, not really. It's kind of weird. But that's basically how it is there. And then we have another one, which still kind of exists, just with a new skin. And I want to introduce them again at some point, but it's called the Infection Believers. I'm going to call it under a different name, of course, but they were basically, which was going to be a highly deadly faction that was like out to, they believed the parasite infection was good, and they would try and spread it, basically. So they were going to be the true evils of this world. And, but then again, delete them. But now we have God's Disciples instead, which is also a religious faction, but it's not going to be the same type. They're just going to be weird fanatics in a way. They are very interesting. And then we have... So let's talk a little bit the factions that have changed. Basically, the as you may know, the Musketeers, they didn't originally exist, but they were under a different name. They were under the name of the Elmpoint Liberation Army, which was basically the exact same thing. Just instead, they originated in the rooftop settlement. So yeah, and then we have also, is there anybody else that has changed their name? No, we have not, but the Outcasts, didn't exist to begin with. But yeah, no. And also, fun fact, every single one of these small factions has a flag, because I like making flags, so that's just a little quick in there. I don't know why I had to say that, but now you know. But they exist. So yeah, no. What should I cover? Okay, so I have already talked a little bit about how the show is made, right? I talked a little bit about something, but basically, no, yeah. As you may not know, we are just literally what would we call this? We are 10th grade Danish students who are like on this special Danish type of boarding school. You can't really call it a boarding school, but then you can, but it's not really what you may know. It's a uniquely Danish boarding school kind of way. And basically this is an elective subject, which is called podcast. And we have some other people here that are like do podcasts and stuff. And I know from the demographic, there's mostly Danes here that listen to this normally. So, you know, I can talk about giving shoutouts to the others because I feel like it's deserved. We haven't had any shoutouts from the others, but I felt like we could at least do it because they are having feuds between each other, and it's the funniest shit ever because they're just like, we hate this other show, and then they're like, no, we hate you more, and they have that. So now we're just like, you know what? Let's just say, let's do a little bit of shout out. We will put a link in the description to both of them. And it's gonna be Kaffe Kællingerne. They are very fun to listen to. I really like them. This is very nice. I actually remember that server I work on for the Aftermath for this world. I listened because like I had only listened to 2 of their episodes. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna binge listen to them and just build on this. So I built like an entire fucking area while listening to that, and it was the funniest shit ever. I fucking loved it. I cannot discuss how much I've actually loved their show. And I'm so glad they at least found success, because we don't get that many listeners. But honestly, I don't care that we don't get that many, because I'm just like, I made this. Because I was like, you know what, I want to make this because I really like creating stuff. I really like showing the world what worlds I have made, kind of way. And I'm really glad you're at least here with me, my co-host, my friend, my good old buddy, old pal, who doesn't really get to talk much, but you're here, and I really like that. That makes me really happy that I at least have a co-host, because it would be really lonely doing it alone, honestly. And what about the other show? We have the Officielle Askov podcast, which is also a Danish show. Both of these shows are Danish, because we're the only ones that did it in English, because we're just cooler. No, we're not. Sorry. If you are the podcast listening to this, I didn't mean it. You guys are cooler than us. But, so yeah, no, they talk basically just about the school and news on the school, and which is really fun. They do a lot of interviews with the different students, and I hope I can get one at some point. That would be really fun, honestly. But no, yeah, big shout out to both of them, because the other one is also really fun to listen to, and I also really enjoyed it. It was also very fun. So yeah. And I haven't listened to the others. I am sorry, but I haven't listened to the others. There's one about feminism. I haven't gone around to watching that, because not watching, but listening to that, because that's not really my cup of tea, listening to stuff like that. Not because not because I don't support feminism. Not at all. I just don't. I just want to listen to some fun times, you know. And then there's the Dreamcast, and I think they talk about dreams. They're also Danish. All of these are Danish, but I haven't listened to them either. I probably should. Have you listened to them?
No.
Have you listened to the others at all?
No. I should.
You should.
I want to.
You definitely should. It's absolutely amazing. But no, yeah. If you're Danish or understand Danish, I would leave a link to all those 4 podcasts in the bottom. We also have a D&D podcast, but I do not think they actually have uploaded anything yet, and it's honestly just laughable at this point. I'm sorry, guys, but Jesus Christ. Let me see if I can find it. See, they still do not have a single episode. That is the funniest shit ever. But oh yeah. Hope they get something, because they do Dungeons and Dragons, and I really want to listen to it, but I don't know what's happening with it, because I'm just like, why, guys? But no, yeah. I will put a link to all of the other 4 podcasts that have episodes right now. If you're interested and know Danish and stuff like that, then I would really suggest it. I think one of them also does stickers now, which is really cool, honestly. We're not going to do that because I don't know how to do that, and yeah. So yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the show again, and let's talk a little bit about the future. Because, like, our elective subject right now is getting to a close. But we do not know if this means we're not going to be able to record any more episodes, or we are, going to be able to do it, like, past this. But we'll see, of course, because this is a lot of equipment for just this, and, of course, uploading shit on Anchor is not cheap. So we are really grateful that this school at least wanted to provide all of this shit for us. And do we have? No, we do not have anything else. But no, yeah, the future of the show. So right now, it's not sure if we're gonna be able to finish the entire story, because like there is a lot more. I sort of have a where it feels good to end for like what could go forward, but right now we are not even close to that. I still need at least like 7 episodes, dude, before I can actually say, okay, I'm done now. We can end this now. But we'll find out. It's a chill pill. Take a chill pill, guys. We'll find out. And what about the future of the lore? The lore, guys, the lore. Well, oh my god, the lore. Sorry. But the future of the lore is basically, as you may know now, there is a danger awaiting. There's something about something in the north, a place where people live and where it's not infected. and where people right now from the county are right now taking an expedition up there. And I have no clue yet how many episodes it take before they'll get up there, but it's not going to take like 5 episodes before they're up there. It's going to take at least 2, or not 1, because next episode is going to be like a little update one. But, so yeah, and I have some plans with that up there, because that's going to lead to a whole new danger. And some new stuff, because I also have a thinking, because, like, local news is beginning to run out. I don't have anything for local news every single time. I need to improvise. So I feel like we're going to do, how the new plan is going to look like. It's going to be, like, song, intro, regional news, song again, small talk, daily letters, and music, and then kind of news from the north, I guess, where we learn a little bit about what's going on up there from the northern county. I can already say it's a county up there that's currently going through some troubles, but you'll find out about that at some point. And so yeah, and then there's a new danger, because as you may know from the beginning, we've learned a little bit about how how there's something with the SED attacking a settlement. Well, now, I know I don't want to spoil too much, but it's not the SED. Well, it is former SED agents. And you'll find out about that, because they are a fucking huge menace, and I can't fucking wait to sit and talk about it, because holy shit, I really love it. Because there's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes in this world. A lot of stuff that the normal citizen doesn't know, and it's going to slowly begin to unwrap. And while we talk about some unwrapping stuff, last episode, we kind of poked a little bit to the idea of old recordings from old radio sessions before the apocalypse. And I'm going to continue that. And I feel like we're going to have an entire episode at some point that's going to be like the last recording of before the entire thing happened. So we like see stuff like that. It is a far out idea. But it basically it's going to be like, oh, we have a normal show, and then suddenly there's some breaking news about something going on, and then it ends. Kind of like how the raid did, with something happening. So look forward to that. I'm not going to spoil too much. And then we have the thing with the men and with its big evils coming. That's also going to happen at some point, and I'm also fucking up for that, and I can't wait. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot more of those interrupting messages. A lot of them. And the whole thing with the North is going to happen at some point. Do we have anything else? I don't think so, actually. Only that I have found a lot more music, because I've gotten myself my hands on some Spotify Premium, so I have added so much music that it just finds for me. So from now on, I do not have to sit and use 30 minutes on finding a fucking song. So yeah, Ross, not Ross, but my co-host, do you have any final words? Anything you can say, or any question you want to ask about the world that I can answer?
What will your character be like in the future? Like, how will Jack change?
That's a good question. I don't know. I actually don't know. I have no clue yet, but I feel like it's gonna be more, I don't know. I actually have no clue. But I feel like it's gonna be a Jack times 2, because now the entire radio thing is getting really up there in the county. So it's gonna be a lot more Jack times 2, basically. That's my idea for now. But yeah, that's basically it. Otherwise, do you have any other question? Last question. I do not wear. Well, does Jaguar work?
Does Jaguar works?
No more questions. Let's go to some. Let's go to just to end it off in a. Let's just end it with a song, actually, and I think we will be listening to "It's All Forgotten Now" by Al Bowley, and we'll see you guys next time with the newest of news and the best of music. Here comes It's All Forgotten Now by Al Bowley.
Forgotten now, the trouble and the pain, forgotten every word I said, forgotten every tear you shed, we're still in love. It's all forgiven now, we're back in lover's lane, and though we wandered from our way, the corner's turned and we can say we're still in love. For you and I and everybody must learn to give and take. We'll find, like everybody, it's worth it for happiness' sake. It's all forgotten now, we're happy once again, our troubles gone beyond recall, and making up is best of all, we're still in love.